Welcome back. What we're going to be doing here is drawing our first cube that actually goes to perspective points that are off our page. So the first thing I want you to do is, in your head, imagine rather than having the perspective point here and just on the edge of the page and down here, that they're probably about 10 centimeters out, still on that same line. So let me explain. So if I draw our Y in the middle, which we know we start with, which is step 1, and I'm going to draw these lines out to the edge of my page, like so. I want you to imagine, as we head over this direction, about 10 centimeters in that direction, there's a little dot, and that's our perspective point. Same on this side, 10 centimeters out this way, there's a little dot, and that's our perspective point that all our lines need to join to. And same as we go down, there's probably one down near our belly button that all the lines are going to join to. So remember, step 1 is what we call our Y. So this is step 1 that we've just done. Step 2, we do our V, which creates the height of our cube. If you start here and draw up, you're going to have a very tiny cube. So I suggest you start further down your page. If you want to mark it or put a little dot, you can. And what I'm doing is, you'll notice that these lines, so now this one and this one, are slowly getting together, and hopefully about 10 centimeters over this way somewhere, they're actually going to touch and collide. And same if I go this way with my V, you'll notice that these two lines are actually getting closer and closer together. They're not parallel because they're not moving just in the same distance, and they're not moving away from each other, but they're heading this direction, and they're also slowly getting closer and closer together, and hopefully about 10 centimeters off my page they'll collide. So that's step 2, the V. Step 3 is what we call the book cover step, where we're trying to create the sides of our cube. So what I'm going to do is visualize and realize that I need to come in and slowly angle this line back this way, and same on this side, slowly angle my line back in, a little bit wobbly there, so I'll do it again. Slowly angle my line back in this way as it heads in down towards my belly button, and hopefully 1, 2 and 3, those 3 lines will collide and hit each other down near my belly button. So the step 4 is we box in the top. So what we do is we draw one line across this direction, and you can see these 2 lines are now getting closer together. Same on this side, drawing it across, and these lines are slowly getting closer together, and hopefully 10 centimeters off the page they will have a collision. Now, the next step is the tricky one. We have to draw 3 lines, one from this point here, one from this point here, and one from this point here. So 3 lines, and this is the step that I say, trying to make it look like a cube of ice. So we go from this one to the opposite corner, so we drag it right across, nice and faint. We go from this one across this way, and we actually go from the top one down. So 3 lines, 1 to that side, 2 to this side, which I've done a little bit wobbly, and 3 down the middle to create our cube shape. So what we've got there is our basic cube. Hopefully you remember the next step from what we did. We then do what we call our firmed in lines. So we're going to try and make these nice and straight. And the firmed in lines, you only do the lines on the faces that we're going to be able to see. So we don't necessarily do all the lines, just ones of our shape. That means the construction lines in the background just help add that extra dimension and make it feel like it's a 3D drawing. But it's very important that we don't outline those and we don't firm them in, because then it will sort of make the drawing hard to understand what's going on. So I'm just firming in the last 2 lines, like so, and you can start to see, well, that emphasizes the cube a bit more. We've still got the lines in the background, but they seem a little bit fainter. Next step is to grab our coloured pencil. I'm just going to choose one face, and remembering that we don't need to do it particularly neat. The idea of a concept sketch is to show off an idea, and you can see I'm just choosing the diagonal. It's not filling up the entire space. It might go over the corners a little bit. I know you've been taught to colour in and be perfect in between the lines, but concept sketching is a little different. The last step is we grab our whiteboard marker and we just draw around the outside only of the shape. So if someone's asked us to cut it out, that's where I want you to draw your black lines, and it just brings the viewer's attention in. It just really emphasises our design. So you can see that there with our cube. And you can also add a bit of a drop shadow that comes out, starts nice and dark, and gets a little bit lighter as it moves its way out as well. And you can see that there. So that's our basic cube. Once you've been able to do that, if you can do it confidently and it looks something similar to this, then you can move on to the next tutorial, which is turning a cube into something a little bit more interesting. But if you didn't get it right, just give it another go and watch this tutorial again.